The turnover of the cocaine worldwide trade is approximately $75 or $100 billion a year. Cocaine comes in two main forms, powder and crystal. The crystal rock form, commonly known as crack or freebase, is cocaine that has not been neutralized by an acid. Drug enforcement personnel estimate that about 2,500 Americans every day try cocaine for the first time. Average street price for a gram of pure cocaine into the US documents currently is between $80 and $100. Approximately 50 million Americans aged 12 and older have tried cocaine at least once in their lifetime, according to a national survey. About 6 million Americans are regular users. Of the more than 2 million Americans that currently use cocaine, just over 700,000 are users of freebase or crack cocaine. After marijuana, cocaine is the second most commonly used illegal drug in the United States. More than 400,000 babies are born addicted to cocaine due to their mothers being drug abusers each year in the US. Cocaine can be snorted through the nose, injected into the bloodstream with a needle, or smoked to produce vapors. Powder cocaine is generally snorted or mixed with the water and injected. Cocaine is produced from the leaves of the coca plant. The plant grows almost exclusively in northern and western South America. Colombia is now the main producer of illegal cocaine, with Peru and Bolivia providing significant amounts of the drug. The coca plant grows best in the mountain and jungle areas of these countries.
When taking drugs, the reward center is stimulated, which is why a person experiences euphoria. On your own, you can reach a certain amount of happiness. For example, when you eat something you really like. When taking cocaine, on the other hand, the feeling of euphoria is increased almost 15 times. A side effect, so to speak, of the extra dopamine released when taking drugs. The person exposed to cocaine will naturally want to experience this again, which draws it into a spiral of addiction. It's a heavily addictive drug. Dopamine is what you could call the source of happiness and/or euphoria. It is a chemical that sends signals in between nerve cells, and they are an important part of the rewarding system in the brain. It's stored in the vesicles at the top of an axon, and when they receive electric signals, the vesicles fuse into the neural wall. The dopamine releases into the space between neurons. The dopamine is when taken up by the other neurons' receptors. The receptors transmit the message. All your problems are back to stay. Your life again. Turn it up with cocaine. And every time that you live, it's a time when you feel, and the only time you heal. And the dopamine return to the earlier neuron. The cocaine messes with this normal sequence of events in two different ways. The first problem is that the cocaine molecules bind with the protein channels, which blocks the dopamine from getting back into its original neuron. The dopamine drifts around in space between the two neurons and collides with the receptors. It also overstimulates the neurotransmitter, which drives it to release extra dopamine.
The second problem is that after a long while of using cocaine, your body loses the ability to produce its own dopamine, and that means that you need the cocaine to feel any happiness at all. Also, the amount of receptors decreases, and you don't have as many receptors that you should, which means that the dopamine can't go to the receptors and transmit the message. The addicted person therefore needs cocaine to achieve the same effect. Other long-term effects are paranoia and depression. Paranoia is a problem because all the dopamine can overstimulate the fright center in the brain. The fright center works as a survival mechanism, and an overstimulation will end in an excessive anxiety. People that stop using cocaine often become very depressed due to the fact that their receptors have become numb to the dopamine, and they're not able to feel as happy as they otherwise would do. Instant effects on the body is, for example, that the person that is high on cocaine sees the world in a different way and might have hallucinations. Instant effects on the body is that the heart can start to pound irregular. Another effect is that the breathing became very quick. Something that you also can see on a person that's high on cocaine is that their pupils became very big and doesn't fit the amount of light in the area around, because the eyes only want to take in as much light as possible. Another negative effect is that the stomach can get painful cramps.